and another session of getting comfortable talking in front of the camera. One technique that my coach taught me about addressing an issue that I'm not comfortable addressing with someone, and there's potential for conflict, and I don't know how to bring it up, and I'm worried about how the other person will react and whether my attempt at solving or resolving this issue might actually escalate it or lead to more bigger problems. So here he has what he kind of calls the think of the TV show Columbo with Peter Falk, where he's this detective and he always has this act that's like playing it a little bit clueless. And so for him, his approaches, or the approach that he shared with me as well, let's say I want to have a conversation with someone named Frank. So, and I'm like, I have to bring up this issue that's really thorny, and I'm kind of angry at him about that, but I am also concerned that if I bring it up with him, he will be angry or defensive or this or that, and it will lead to nothing other than more conflict, but not help resolve the issue. Maybe. So the way to go about. Oh my God, I'm so. The voice in my head is, I'm so terrible at this. I'm not getting to the point, and I know I am. But, dear inner critic, thank you for the feedback. I will proceed. And keep in mind, my friend, this is just about getting comfortable talking in front of the camera with a mic and putting it out there. That's the only objective. You don't have to create a YouTube video that will be valuable or interesting or entertaining. This is just an exercise for yourself. So, with that in mind, the primary objective, getting comfortable talking in front of the camera, and sometimes screwing up, and still not beating yourself up about it, not blaming yourself about it, but welcoming yourself with love and holding yourself in a space where it's, hey, it's okay, just keep going. So, the technique now finally is to say, listen, Frank, I have this thing that I want to talk with you about, but I don't know quite how to bring it up. And it might be a difficult topic for us to discuss, but how can I bring it up in a way where you want to talk about it with me? It's not going well, but I'm just going to keep running with it. I'm going to try that again. Hey, Frank, listen, I have this thing that I want to talk about with you, but I don't know quite how to bring it up with you in a way that you want to talk about it with me. Typically, Frank in that situation would say, well, what is it? Just tell me. I'm like, okay. So, I want to bring this thing up with you, and I'm just going to tell you. And then I tell him the thing, and then I'm like, is this me just telling you? I think one of the things here is that I realize, like, I've heard him talk about it, but I haven't done it myself, and it's not really clear yet in my own mind. So I'm kind of like, he has a very clear structure how he does this, and I don't have that very clear structure. And he's got like several layers of how he does it. And it's actually very simple and clear. So I feel a little bit dumb about not being able to just recall it like that. But again, I'm not dumb. Or maybe I I am. I don't know. But it's interesting, that inner critic voice. But it's fine that I don't know this framework that he has told me about once, and that it's not completely clear to me, even though it's a simple framework. It's fine. That's fine. And I'm making a video where I talk about this, but the purpose of the video is really just to get comfortable talking in front of a camera and being imperfect and screwing things up. So keep going with it. But at its core, the essence really, now there's a certain phrasing and structure to it that I can't recall, but at its core and phrasing, there's this topic that's very difficult to address. And at least I have a way of, the underlying principle is that I first address, rather than the issue itself, how we're going to talk about the issue, and that makes it easier. It's like a transition, a bridge that makes it easier, rather than this kind of very harsh, direct. And then you can still be direct, right? So it's not like you're making a circle around it, but you are transitioning toward a way of communicating directly about it and very clearly about it, but you're building that little bridge that makes it easier to do so. So it's not about circling around it and being vague. It's about addressing it very clearly and openly and transparently and straightforward, but in a way where the other person is actually receptive to having a conversation on their terms about it. So let me try this again to put it together, and I'll make another video about it when I really have clarity about it. But I don't want to hit stop now and delete this video, because again, the only purpose of this video is for myself to practice becoming comfortable being in front of the camera. So, hey Frank, I have this issue that I want to talk about with you, and it's important for me, but I don't quite know how to bring it up with you in a way where you want to talk about it with me. And typically Frank would now say, well, what is it? Just tell me. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, and then I want you to and I'm just gonna tell it to you just very straightforward, and then I want you to tell me if that is how you want to talk about it. So I noticed that every Friday at 2 p.m. I'm waiting for your weekly report that you sent to me, because we've agreed that you would send it to me, but many times it's not there yet, and then I have to follow up with you at 2, and I have to ask you, hey, can you send that report to me as soon as possible, because I'm expecting it at 2, so that I can write my reports, which I have to wrap up before the end of the day. And the fact that you are often delayed about it causes me a lot of stress. Now, is this a way that is fine to you to talk about it with me, or is there another better way that we could talk about this? So there's a kind of meta communication going on, where we first talk about how to communicate about this issue, which then makes it easier to actually talk very clearly about this issue. Now, if Frank now says, no, that's not okay, I want to talk about this differently, we can do that. Frank might also have other objectives. Well, this is the best I can do for now. It's fine. This is all just baby steps. This is my first week of doing this. It's fine. Be proud about keeping this rolling and not aborting it and not deleting that video and making another attempt, but keeping this rolling, bringing it until here, giving it an ending and saying, that's as good as it gets for now. This is the best I could do right now. And I'm okay with that. And now I'm gonna hit the stop button and upload that video and publish it. And tomorrow I'm gonna make another one. And maybe it's gonna be better. But I've done the thing. I'm practicing, putting it out there, publishing, doing another one, rather than trying again, trying to make it perfect, and then losing myself in that attempt of trying to make it perfect when I'm so far away from anything that could even be remotely considered perfect that it's just an impossible task, so I will never do it. Kinda good job.